What year, y'all? Well, if I sound tired, I am. It's been a long week and we're getting towards the end, but it's the Breeders' Cup, so you got to do it. We're going to talk about the turf. It's a grade one, it's the eighth race on the card, running a mile and a half, of course, on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. And we're going to see if history can be made, and that is to see if Rebels Romance can win this race for the third consecutive year. And as I mentioned in one of my posts earlier, I believe Goldikova is the only horse in the Breeders' Cup to win a Breeders' Cup race 3 years in a row. She won the mile, and what a great horse she was. We got a full field here, full field of 14. A lot of 3-year-olds running against the older, and that's very important, I think, to keep in mind because as we know, that's a really big jump as with 3-year-olds moving up against older. So some of them have already done it, but it is something that I think in your handicapping you need to keep very prominent in your mind. Looking at this race, pace wise, now Salawi is the lone E in the group, but I have a pretty good feeling that Goliath is going to be the one to try to take the lead. Salawi, I don't see enough there to take this field all the way. There's just too much class there. But Goliath is in pretty good form. It's a little hard to evaluate a horse coming from Germany. Let's face it. It's just we just don't know. But this horse is bred to run all day. Has some decent back class, and might be there for a while. But taking them all the way, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Probably would lean against it. So now the interesting thing about this field is we've got two pretty chalky horses, and they may even be co-favorites by the time it's post time. We've got Rebels Romance, a defending champion, and Mini Hawk. So let's talk about Rebels Romance first. There's nothing. He hasn't done anything wrong. Nothing. He's 7 years old. He's just a well-oiled machine, and he just keeps moving right along. His last race, I believe it was the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic. I mean, it took what was a small but a really good field all the way, and that's doing what a good horse is supposed to do. Just deciding to take over and leaving them all in the dust. It was an impressive effort from an extremely impressive horse. However, the only thing I'm gonna say is it's Charlie Appleby, it's William Buick, it's Godolphin. I mean, it's all right there, right? It just looks too good to be true, but he is 7 years old. And I think it's kind of a tall order to ask him to do it one more time. There are some horses in here I think are ascending, and I think that's very important to think about when you consider this race. I think Rebels Romance, we certainly know what he is. And is he capable of running a big race again? Sure. But I just think maybe there's a couple in here that have a shot against him. But the real reason I want to try to beat Rebels Romance is because Mini Hawk's there. Now, Mini Hawk just finished a really good second in the Arc de Triomphe and lost to Dariz, and there was those two in the stretch and nobody else. Couple things to think about. First of all, Mini Hawk is 3 and is a filly going against older. Well, that's no big deal. She clearly can handle it, running in the Arc de Triomphe and finishing a very good second. But it was on soft turf and it was in the rain, pretty much. And obviously, Del Mar is a very different story. This is a small, dry, fast turf track. So Mini Hawk looks to be of quality, so maybe the surface won't matter a whole lot. But when you consider the specter of Rebels Romance with Mini Hawk with two short prices, well, to me, whenever you have two short price favorites in the same race, you've got to find a way to beat them, and you got to take a long shot. And luckily, I think we have a couple that can do the job. Now, Amalok is a 3-year-old going against older, but this horse likes to win. And that's really the selling point to me. This is a horse that I think has been in the money in every single race, has won 5 out of 6, and just likes to win. I liked the effort last time, even though it was a good second to Al Rifa, who was a very nice older horse. I think Amalok, provided that, as it always is, if say she likes Delmark or he and can handle it, I think is very dangerous in here because, you just gotta love a horse who loves to win and has beaten some pretty good horses in the 3-year-olds ranks in Europe. And so I want to throw Amalok in here. I do think the Europeans are a little better than what we have to offer. I don't think there's any doubt in that. I'm really not interested in including any of the Americans. I just couldn't really find it. If you wanted to look at one, I would say Gold Phoenix because he finished 4th last year and he just always seems to find his way. But he is 7 years old, and I just don't know if he can do it one more time. But that'd be the only American I'd be thinking about, to be honest. So we've talked about Amalok, Rebels Romance, and Mini Hawk. I think this is El Cordobe's time to shine. I didn't think he ran badly last time against Rebels Romance. Rebels Romance did what he does, but I think El Cordobas looked like a horse who maybe needed a race. We had certainly seen better from him earlier in the year, and it looked to me like this was just sort of a placeholder type of race. And I think the big one is sitting in the turf on Saturday. By the clock of reports, he is training extremely well, and he's very sharp. And okay, he is Charlie Appleby's horse, and William Buick's not on him. Okay, well, Rebels Romance gets that honor because he's Rebels Romance. But I think El Cordobes has, from what I can see, from everybody in this group, he's got the upside. The others really don't. And that's kind of what I like the most. Provided his jockey can work out a trip for him at 10 hole, I don't think it's a big problem. Plenty of time at 1.5 miles. I think El Cordobes at 15-1 is an absolute steal. And I just can't see not betting him when you've got 2 really short price favorites in a 14-horse field. I just think you have to do it. Can Mini Hawk or Rebels Romance win this race? Of course they can. But I just have a feeling that this is the time that the third time is not a charm, or it's not going to be 3 in a row for Rebels Romance. And I'm just not really that wild about Mini Hawk. And to be honest, of what I saw of her running style, I just think she's more of a grinder. I don't know. But anyway, I think the setup is there. I think it's just a time where you have to find some value. So we look at our wagering strategy. We're going to go with El Cordobes to win. And then we're going to do exactas with Amalok, Rebels Romance, and Mini Hawk. And then we'll key box them with El Cordobes. And I feel very, very confident that El Cordobes is the horse to beat here. And I just really like what I've seen. And I just, no disrespect meant to Rebels Romance or Mini Hawk, but I think El Cordobes looks like a horse who's ready to ascend. And that's what we're going with. Hope our analysis helps you with your own wagering strategy, and I wish you the best of luck as always. And certainly, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And thanks to all of you that have and continue to support us. We're going to keep going. We've got the Classic next, but then we will have the Dirt and the Turf Mile, as well as the Filly and Mare Turf. You'll have all of those prior to Saturday's day of racing. So rest assured, you can, if you do value what we offer here, you will have it in spades, and you will have plenty of information to make your wagering strategy. So that's it from here. I'll talk to you soon, and until then, be well.